like to use bigger baits, especially in the fall. For some reason in the fall, these really big baits, and those fish are starting to feed up, getting ready to move out of their summer baits. They're still a little bit shallow. They really start keying in on those bigger baits. So one other thing is when I don't know where, here it is. You know, finesse jigs. I use a lot of finesse jigs as well. You know, this is a little dainty little finesse jig. And what I'll do with that, I have these in all sizes. This is probably like a 1/4 ounce, but I have them all the way up to 3/8 ounce. But it's the same small profile, the little tiny profile. So my favorite size in the finesse jig is 3/8 ounce. You know, it's pretty heavy for a finesse jig, but it's small, little compact thing. And just giving that little different look of the profile can turn it from an okay day to a really good day. You know, I usually pair this up with like a 3-inch sugar craw or a baby bomb, or you know, sometimes I'll put a big trailer on a small jig like this. But you know, it's always good, especially if there's a lot of guys on the water, to fish something a little bit out of the norm. You know, still use good technique. You know, still use good technique. Still use good techniques to catch big fish. Still use your jigs, but just change it up a little bit from what everyone else is using. That's one of the reasons why I use a lot of brown and blue jigs. I started using brown and blue jigs because everyone else I saw fishing the same tournaments and everything else, they use black and blue. It's like my brown and blue should work better because everyone else uses black and blue, so I'm going to catch fish behind these guys. That's my favorite colors, brown and blue. Brown and blue. You know, a lot of guys, if you fish in a lot of California or something like that, their favorite color is probably brown and purple. You know, so but brown and blue for me, especially in this state, just absolutely tears those fish apart. A lot of my jigs, as you can see in this bag, are brown and blue. Have some variation of brown and blue, jig company blue. As far as trailers go on these, as you can tell, I have all kinds of different colors in here. If you want, I talked to, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of, his name's Andy Cuccia from the California Delta. He's down there with D. Thomas and all that. It's that group of guys that kind of invented flipping and pitching. And he is a jig guru. They call him Cooch, but he's a jig guru. And I happened to run into him one day, and I started talking jigs to him. And this is early on in my jig fishing career. And I was talking about jigs, and I go, "What kind of jigs do you really need?" He goes, "Honestly, he makes a TNT water jig. It's called a water jig. TNT makes it for him." And he goes, "See all these jigs that I have? They make all these different colors. Those aren't my jigs." He goes, "Those aren't my jigs. See the ones with blue? That's just to catch fish." He goes, "If you want a black and blue jig, use a black jig with a blue trailer. If you want a black and red jig, use a black with a red trailer." He goes, "Well, you only need 2 colors. You need a brown jig and a black jig." And he goes, "If you want any accent colors in it, they make plenty of plastics that put any accent color that you want in it." So I've always taken that. He told me that, you know, this is a long time ago. Not a long time ago, well, probably 10 years ago. But I guess it could be a long time ago. And I've taken that. He always uses rubber as well. So that's kind of where it started. And I've used all the silicone colors and stuff like that. And, you know, doesn't seem like it's needed. Brown, blue, brown, purple. You know, and this is kind of out of the norm for me. Is you know, a green pumpkin color. I have been fishing it, and it's starting to really wear on me. I've been fishing it more and more. It's also a really good color. I think it's a good contrasting color, like say especially in the sunny days where you want a little bit lighter color, or if you have sand bottom. As far as blue, I use black and blue because I still use a lot of black and blue jigs, black and blue, brown and blue. What I do is the best thing to do is go to the lake, look at the bottom where you're fishing. What color is the bottom? Is it green? Is it brown? Is it black? Is it really dark? Try to match your jig to the color of the bottom. Because let's face it, a crawdad that's living on the bottom, or a sculpin, or a bullhead catfish, is going to be camouflaged to the bottom that you're fishing, correct? So your jig kind of want your jig to blend into that bottom. So say you're fishing a lake with algae, not algae. You know, you see that yellow olive colored algae? This is the jig I pick up. I'd fish that because it matches the algae. I put some accent colors in just to make it pop off that algae, so it doesn't look like a ball of algae. Put some colors in it, pop, put a trailer on it, go with that. If you're fishing really dirty water, or super dirty water, I always use black. black with bright blue, and I'll go with a bright blue trailer with a lot more blue in it. You know, the brown jig is a good all-purpose jig, especially in super clear water. But a lot of places we fish have brown. And you know, your jig color, this is another thing, your jig color really makes a huge difference as well. I mean, we've had days where black and blue has just tore them up. You know, because it's nice fishing with having a buddy that fishes with you, right? You're both throwing jigs. You can really dial in that jig bite. You know, one guy we throw in black, you can throw your two favorite colors, and you'll really see the difference in how many bites each person is getting. Another, you know, prime example, my fishing partner now, he likes to fish jigs, and he was always a black and blue guy. And like I told you, I was always brown and blue. So we go to the lake, you know, he's fishing in front of me. I just keep catching fish, you know, like one after another. The only difference was we're both using the same. We were using the Jig trailer. When I was catching fish after fish, I'm talking like 4 to 1 fish. And he's like, this isn't quite right. He goes, what's going on? I goes, no, you know, I'm trying to tell you all this time, brown jig. And he goes, okay, whatever. Next time we go out, he has the brown jig, and I have to fish the black. And so I let him catch 4 fish in a row, then we come to the black. You know, so it does make a difference. It does make a difference. Your base color, not your accent. I've never seen the accent color make a difference, but your base color of jig does make a difference on different days. So, was there anything I forgot in this picture? Yes.
Well, that living rubber, does that come in brown?
Yes. Living rubber comes in. It comes in brown. Comes in black. This is living rubber. Olive color. There's an avocado color, which is more like watermelon. And then a bunch of other colors that really aren't applicable to jigs. Blues and purples and all kinds of crazy stuff. Oh, I forgot to talk about the rods. That's important. So basically, I fish a lot of jigs, so I have different jig rods. There is a difference between a flipping stick and a jig rod. With a flipping stick, you know, with every jig I showed you, like I cannot throw a 3/8 ounce jig on the same, or pitch a jig accurately, the same jig that's 3/8 ounce to a 1 ounce jig. You have to have something with more tip in it. But the same thing is you can't really cast a flipping stick that well because the tip's so stiff. But if you think about it, when you're flipping, you don't want that tip to really fold over. So what happens, it ends up slingshotting off the rod tip. So that's why you use a flipping stick. You know, something with a little bit more meat to it compared to a casting rod. Like it'd be really noticeable, like after the end of the day. Let me show you guys this. But if you look at the two rods, they're the same power, but one's a flipping stick and one's a casting. One's a flipping stick and one's a jig rod. But if you can see that, see how much thicker the flipping stick is? They're both medium heavy or sliding on the heavy side. Same action, but see how much difference there is? And the reason being is, you know, the butt's not almost the exact same size. It's just the tips. So you have just as much power with this rod, except it doesn't start till farther back. This hot rod has a lot more power in the tip. What that allows you to do is flip your bait a little bit more accurately. This is probably one of my, you know, if you're just doing like a lot of skipping, casting, you know, not the pitching or flipping process, constantly pitching it in there. This rod is by far my favorite. It's a 4 power Lewis. It's the 7.5. It's a 7.5. I had some 7.1s, but I just like a little bit extra length. I fished a 7.1 a lot with this 7.1 rod a lot. But what you have is a lot lighter tip. So when you want to launch that bait out there, you can launch it. When you want to skip that jig, you have a light enough tip that tip will go real quick and you just go like that, and it will sling under. You can't do that with a flipping stick because it won't flex. It won't flex to slingshot that bait under there. And that's a huge difference. If you wanted just an all-purpose rod, this would be the rod to go with. As far as throwing jigs, throwing Texas rigs, everything for largemouth. You can still pitch with this rod. It's just that the tip's a little bit more flimsy, but it will still work. So, you know, a lot of guys think you have to have a flipping stick for jig fishing. You don't have to. You know, a 7.5 will work just fine. The thing about flipping sticks, the so much stiffer is that a lot of times you get your fish or you lose your fish on the first couple of cranks of your rig. You know, a lot of times when you're actually flipping into heavy cover, you're flipping it out there. By the time you see the bite and you can react to it, that fish is probably swimming 3 more branches. You know, than you set cover. On all my flipping sticks, I've improved to the fastest reels I can get. You know, it's fastest reels that I have, or that I you know, now that if I'm going to buy one for my reel, for my rod, I'm going to go to like 8.1 or 9, whatever size you want. A lot of people say that leaves a lot of cranking power. You know, they say the lower gear ratio has more cranking power. Well, that's not an issue with the newer reels. The older reels were a little bit. The cranking power is there because you have all the rod and you just pull them out and crank as fast as you can. A lot of times when you are fishing jigs, a lot of times, how many times you throw it out there, as soon as it hits the water, it's like bam, one's got it. You gotta set the hook, you get them in as fast as you can, get them away from that cover. So, you know, you want a fast reel. So that's kind of the differences between the 2 rods. Actually, this jig right here, I caught a couple fish, I caught a couple largemouth a couple weeks ago on this jig right here at Lake Sammamish. I've caught 4 largemouth on Lake Sammamish already this year. I'm not fishing shallow, I'm fishing deep, like 20 feet. Our boat actually caught 4 largemouth last time we were out there. I've just started targeting. I was making a smallmouth, but that got boring for me, so I want to do stuff. I just want to do something different, so I wanted to look for largemouth. And this is the jig I used, it's a 3/4 ounce jig, and I just went to areas that I thought the fish would be wintering in, the largemouth would be wintering in, and sure enough, they were there. It surprised me, but we ended up catching 4 in this like 2 or 3 years. So they are still catching them this time of year. You just got to find them. But it's just, I don't know. So this is the rod and reel that I use. So this jig's caught a lot of fish. Definitely scratches. Now, as far as swim jigs go, I use 2 different swim jig rods. One for the early spring, and one for the early spring, and one just a multi-purpose rod. You don't have to get real specific on your swim jig rods. Like, you don't want an extra fast taper, I can tell you that. You don't want an extra fast taper with something that just tip bends. You want it to bend throughout the rod. You want it to bend kind of evenly. This is actually made for square reel crankbaits, like fishing square reels around woods and stuff like that. So it's more of so it has more of a parabolic bend to it. But the thing about the swim jigs, those fish come up and they engulf them. They don't hit them like spinnerbaits. You're not going to barely hook them, they engulf them. Well, a lot of times I think you miss a lot more fish on them by not letting that fish eat it. You know, as you're reeling, so you have a tight line to it, you're reeling, all of a sudden your rod will load up. But you want that rod to load so they can get it down deeper. But it's kind of like how you fish crankbaits, right? You want a softer rod so the fish can get it deeper. Same concept. Later on in the year, the fish are a little bit more aggressive. Now, this one's a lot stronger. Now, early in the season, like I said, I use 15-pound tests, and I use a slower retrieve reel. I only use a 6.3 to 1. I don't think there's any positive for using like a faster reel, because I think you really want it to be pretty slow. Now, early spring, the water's still in the low 50s. I use a glass rod. This is kind of a specialty rod, but it has a way more light tip on it, way more parabolic. The other thing I have is I have a slower retrieve reel, so I really have to slow that down. And what I'm doing with that swim jig is I'm throwing it out, using a 3/8 ounce, and instead of swimming your jig up on the surface, or just below the surface like you would a spinnerbait, I'm throwing this out there and grinding it across the rocks on the bottom. Just throw it out there and grind it, and just reel it back, and let it every rock. Well, in the spring, what happened was, I was missing a lot of fish. I get bit, you run low, and they're gone. So what happens is when you don't hook the fish on the spinnerbait or on the swim jig, my conclusion is that they're just not getting it if you swim too fast. They didn't get it. So I use that time of year when they're not hitting it, you're like really hammering it, really gobbling it. Sometimes you need to be a split second slower so they can get the rest deeper. Now with this rod they can get it really deep. When I catch fish on this rod and this big swim bait on the back of it, it's gone. It's back, the hook's way back in the back of the mouth. It's not hanging out of the corner of the mouth or anything, it's in the back. In the spring when it's cold like that, a lot of times the fish will come up and grab the tail, It only takes them a split second to suck the rest of it. A lot of times they'll hit it and then gone. I've seen it do it. They'll hit it from the side, grab it, and then just inhale a little bit more and get the rest of it in their mouth. So that split second that the extra give in your rod gives that fish is the split second that it sucks the rest of it in. So basically why I'm using this rod is because I cannot not set it up quickly, so it slows me down. So it's nothing to do with the fish, it just slows me down a little bit. You know, so I think sometimes we miss a lot of fish because we react too quickly. But in the spring, I like to really get that bait in there, so I use my glass rod is slower really. I really crank it on the rod. As far as trailers on these swim jigs too, you know, we talked about, I don't think I ever went over really what exactly I use. I use a lot of these just cheap baits. You know, a lot of guys just like high-tech, 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 high-tech. This is like the hot thing. It's like everyone wants to fish high-tech. I have a lot of high-techs. But with my swim jigs, I have found that the cheaper ones work better. They're a lot cheaper, you know. They don't tear up. I can catch like 5, 6, 7, 8 fish on this bait. What I also do is I super glue the bait on my hook so that it doesn't tear. Every time you catch fish, it'll pull off and tear. Super glue it to the head. That way it doesn't tear off. You can fish it all day. It gives you probably 4 times as many fish on the bait. The thing is about those Kitechs, you can fish them slower, so the only time I really fish a Kitech is I'm going to really fish super duper slow. But normally, most of the time, probably about 95% of the time, I'm either going to be fishing one of these gamblers or something like that, like a Jackson Innovation ski dipper, you know, something of that sort. Now, when do I go from a swim jig trailer to a crawdad trailer to a grub trailer to a double tail grub trailer? What I have found over the years throwing these, early spring before they spawn, it's all about the swim bait and the crawdad. It's one of the two. So if you're fishing really rocky structure, a crawdad. I like to fish the dark brown swim jig that passed around with a crawdad. If I'm fishing grassy stuff, where I think there's more bait fish swimming around, I'll fish a bait fish pellet. And I'll fish a swim bait. So like, in early spring, you know, there's a lot of juvenile yellow perch that like to get up on the flats. So that's when I'll go to, you know, a trailer like this. This trailer is called Copperfield. But if you ever seen a perch like early in the spring when they're coming out of the winter, they're really pale. Especially those young ones, they're pale, like a pale yellow color. And that bait right there catches really good. Now, if I'm fishing another lake, I'll use, you know, if there's more bluegill, I'll use more of a bluegill color, purple, yellow, with a big trailer on the back of it. Maybe June bug. But typically, before they spawn, it's all about the swim bait. Now, once they start spawning, once they start post-spawn, it's like a light bulb goes up. And then that's when I start using my grubs. I start using my 6-inch grubs, 5-inch grubs. Something about that swirl tail, not so much rocking motion, but swirl tail, it really seems to work a lot better. So like, here it is. Especially in a lake that has tons and tons of bluegill in it, I don't care if the water's blue or what, that's probably my #1 catcher right there. It's just a 6-inch grub, June bug. Looks like, because when the bluegill starts spawning, it's right after the bass, right? What color those males get? They get real purpley, dark color, right? Females are still yellow, but that's what I go to. And you know, this is, like I said, this isn't a regurgitation I heard. It's just what I have found fishing so much, fishing so many swim jigs, is that it seems like a light bulb turns on and off between the swim bait and the grub. Twin tail grubs, everything like that are great. You know, that round jig, I'll use a lot of range cross. You know, the kick like that, you put back there. The same speed cross. If I want a little bit smaller presentation, I'll use a small speed cross that kicks really hard on the back. I'll use the ones I showed you that I use my flipping jig. If I want a little bit bigger profile on the back, I'll put that on. But sometimes, I'll give you another example of a fishing experience that I had. So, fishing with the same guy, my fishing partner, his name's Mike Walski, and he's making fun of me. He's like, I show him this thing, I go, dude, this is how we're gonna catch it. Swim bait looks just fine. Okay, so here I'm fishing behind him again. Oh, got one. Oh, got another one. Oh, what the hell? I guess you're right. So it is. But we were fishing. The reason I started throwing it is because when we were fishing, had more rock and more wood in it. So it lended to have a lot more crate fishing as well. You know, instead of fishing grass flat. You know, if you're fishing grass or a lot of submerged milfoil beds, stuff like that, maybe little lily pad fields, stuff like that, where you see more perch and stuff, where you see a lot of crawdads, that's where the swim bait shines. And where the crawdads live, where it's rocky or whatever, that's when I'll switch over to the crawdads. So you kind of just have to think about what you're fishing, what kind of colors there, what kind of food's there, so I don't know what else to say.
Okay.
So, yes.
What do you recommend for when you're sight fishing beds?
I don't know, anything to make them mad. You know,
Is there a specific type of jig head or
no,
color?
it doesn't really matter. I mean, you know, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. The whole key to catching a largemouth on beds is just making them mad. Because you know, like a lot of guys go in there, there's like shit. It's just you gotta get them to react something. For largemouth beds, largemouth seem to want a couple different things. They either want it sinking very slow, they want it top water, or they want it on the bottom shaking, or they want it suspended supporting. You catch a lot of them on top water this big. You can usually tell when they want that, because as soon as your stuff hits the surface, they're up off their bed looking up at the surface. That's when you fish top water. The next thing is, sometimes they just want sinking slow. Either sinking slow all the way up to the bed. Other times they want suspended there, like a drop shot or something like that. Sometimes they want big baits, sometimes they want small baits. You know, so it's all the same. You know, when you are bed fishing, you don't need a big weed guard, so you might as well just cut it off or cut it in half. So, that ratio. You know, when I go out fun fishing, I don't even mess with them unless it's like a big rod. You know, a 2 or 3 pounder, probably catch one of those just fishing. Honestly, if it's bedding season, I'd rather throw a frog. Just a hollow belly frog and work it into the bedding areas where I know there's male spawning. Because where there's male spawning, there's no females. And I've got so many giant females fishing in the bedding areas with a frog. And there's open water frog. And all of a sudden they come out of nowhere. And you're like, where'd that sucker come from? It's like somehow. So I don't like the sight fish males. I like to know where they're at. Because I know that males there, there's some big females around there somewhere. And I come back through, you catch plenty, if you're fishing a frog, you catch plenty of males coming off your bait. Or they, you know, and then another thing about good about the frog is like a lot of times that female will come up and sit behind you. You know, another thing in the spring, since we're talking about frogs, it's like you'll see fish under docks, right? And you'll throw a jig in there and they'll sort of skip it nice and neat in there, they'll swim. And then you'll throw, like, oh, I'll come back later. There they are again. You throw a Senko in there. You slip a Senko in there. It's like, oh, that's nice and quiet. You know? Then they look at it and it starts sinking. As soon as it starts sinking, it take off again. The one thing that they never do is you can throw that big ass frog past them and work it past them, and they won't move. They'll sit there and look at it the whole way. Either that or come up and bump it with their nose. It's the darndest thing. So it's never too early to fish a frog, you know? Especially these local lakes around here. They're like guys that get thrown kind of just throw it everywhere. A lot of fish. You get a lot of bonus fish around there too. So then one other thing is white. You know, I didn't ever talk about white swim jigs. I do carry them, but we mostly reserve. I reserve the white for white, and you always have to have rainbow. You know, we have a lot of rainbow trout colors. So I do if there's a lot of trout or salmon spool, like I do go to lighter colors. But 9 times out of 10, I'm using a darker color. So it just depends on yes.
Well, I saw you fish those creature jigs.
All those hair jigs?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a Kentucky Lake ledge fishing wheel.
Yeah, I just heard about them like 2 weeks ago or something.
Yeah, they have extra long butt tails, so they're about a hair big about this long. Right? And they basically stroke them on like so, but no, there's the problem with a lot of that stuff you hear, like you read it or whatever, a lot of it has to do with shad. So, and the fish move with the shad. So our fish don't move with shad, they don't sit on the same cover as those bass back there. They're a lot different. So let's face it, the bass follow the bait. So if it's a shad lake, we're gonna follow the shad. So the shad are up the ledges or the bass. The shad are up in the shallows or the bass. Here we want the shad to drag the fish all the way out into the deep water. The only time they go out in the deep water is something like, say Potwell's Reservoir. There's tons and tons of yellow perch there. The water draws down, the perch go up into the water. Guess where the bass goes? Go up into the water. And that's probably about the closest thing that you're going to get to ledge fishing like back on the East Coast is probably Potwell's.
I was going to possibly coconut too, some of the lakes full of coconut.
Yeah,
That's nice.
yeah, that's more of a smallmouth thing. A lot of the coconut lakes don't have a lot of largemouth in them. And if they do, there's usually smallmouth. And for some reason, when they're eating those coconut, it seems like the largemouth are really yeah, they're more of an aggressive fish. You can put them two in the tank and the largemouth will buy into smallmouth. So, forgot, I read a study somewhere that they did that. Like, they had like an 8-pound largemouth with a 2.5-pound smallmouth in the same tank. A 2.5-pound smallmouth over the tank. So, the smallmouth is way different beast. They are mean and aggressive.
What kind of knot do you use with jigs? And you mentioned topwater. Do you change the knots for different applications?
Yeah, I didn't mention that. Like with jig fishing, with like if I'm fishing deep jigs, I use most of the time, you know, if you notice none of my rods have braid on them. A lot of guys like flipping like their heavy stuff with braid. I use heavy fluorocarbon. I tie a tri-beam knot. I think it's one of the best ones out there. I've done a lot of knot tests and different things on my own. It's easy to tie, it's easy to get right every time. If you're using fluorocarbon, you don't want to use a Palomar knot or just a regular cinch knot. It burns the line too easy and it breaks really easy. So I use a tri-beam knot. With my deeper jigs and my this rod, I use about 16 pounds of fluorocarbon. I don't use like Berkeley or anything like that because I use Japanese fluorocarbon. There's a huge difference between Japanese fluorocarbon. You can still do it. There's a big difference between Japanese and US fluorocarbon. The thing of it is like, look at your diameters in your fluorocarbon. So this is 16, okay? It breaks right at 16. But that's not saying I can't use Berkeley fluorocarbon. I just go get the same diameter, and they call it 14, but it breaks at 16. So all the US stuff is overbuilt. It's oversized. So when you really see a 14-pound line, you go through the line test on that. That's really a 16-pound test. They just put a bigger number on the carbon just to sell it. So when I was using Berkeley, I would just downsize my line. So instead of 16, I'd use 14. So like their 17-pound test, fluorocarbon, Berkeley 17-pound test fluorocarbon, it's the same size that I use on my flipping stick, which is 22 pounds fluorocarbon. So just keep that in your mind. So I use 22, you can get away with 17 American. 17 American. So the Japanese do it what the real break strength is. America, I don't know, it's funny. It's just like, well, this is the best fluorocarbon ever. I mean, yeah, but it's twice the size of it. You know? So I go more off of that than anything. I go off of my diameters more than I go off of my test. So, you know, a good 20 pound test fluorocarbon is good. I go all the way to 25. I like fluorocarbon, you know, why don't you just use braid? There's attributes of braid that I don't really like. Really limp. So if you're flipping brush, it goes around the limb. And all of a sudden you're hung up on the limb. The other thing it does, so if you catch a fish, hook a fish on the other side of a log, it's so thin it cuts through the log. Now your fish is stuck on the log